Okay, so I'm standing on top of the pressure hull at the stern of the submarine. Where I'm standing, there should have been a casing, the deck of the submarine. That's been removed and been taken to the compound next door to be restored. And behind me is the sheeting that's covering the conning tower. The contractors have only just finished shot blasting that, and that will be an area that we'll be moving in to start working on in the next couple of weeks. Looking this way down there, we're looking down towards the stern. On the level below this would be the rudder and the propellers, which we're going to have a look at in a minute. And then the rest of these components on the top here. Behind me, you've got the induction, the exhaust pipe work. You've got the engine room hatch there. And going that way, you've got the after torpedo loading hatch and the main vent for ballast tank number 5 right down at the stern. Okay, so we're now standing at the stern section of the submarine. This area of the submarine was so badly decayed before that we've had to replace the entire thing. The stern section of an A-class submarine is affectionately known as the duck aft because of its shape. Behind me you can see the 2 stern torpedo tubes and the bulkhead surrounding them. That's all original, but all the metal coming this way is all complete rebuild and involves a number of compound curves, so it took a long time for the contractor to affect the shape of the stern as it was originally. Basically, armature is built to bow.
Oh, right.
So it will fall off.
Yeah.
We are right at the front of the ballast keel, bows going that way. This grilled area here is the original Second World War assembly was left in place. And then if you watch the ballast going down there, it's not hollow, some of it is solid cast iron blocks to provide ballast. But there are some apertures in the side of the ballast keel. One of them's got the gas ejector in it, so where they push the rubbish out when they're underwater, and the other one's got a hydrophone device in it. And you can see this has been blasted back, but it hasn't had a sealing coat of paint yet, that's why it's orange. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the bow section of the submarine, and this top edge the camera's panning along is about the only part of it that's really going to survive. If you look down a bit, you'll see that in the lower sections of the bow they're completely rebuilding it with new steel work. This big grey framework that you see around the bow is an armature that's supporting it while we carry out the restoration work. The bow is in such a frail state that there's serious concerns about whether or not it might collapse during the process of restoration, so the armature is a very important part of the restoration process. Okay, so we're now in the control room of HMS Alliance, and you can hear behind me the noise of the blasting. Surrounding the pressure hull of the submarine are a whole series of tanks running port and starboard, and we're having to blast the inside of those and reseal them so that we can protect them from future corrosion. So that's the noise you can hear transferring right through the pressure hull, which despite being 3/4 of an inch thick, transfers the noise remarkably well. As far as interpretation in the future, inside the submarine, the control room is something where we want to make it a lot more exciting and create a much more sensory experience. So around me at the moment you can see the control room fully lit by these bulkhead lights. But post-restoration we'll have re-illuminated a great deal of the instrumentation you can see around me and behind me, which is how it would have been when the submarine was actually at sea and in operation. And there'll also be a new sound system in here that creates not only the ambient sound of everything going on in the submarine, whether it's on silent running or just normal operational running, and there'll also be a scenario in here that depicts what it would be like to be attacked by a surface ship while dived underwater, and we're hoping this scenario will be a lot more exciting and a lot more explanatory than the one we've been using to date.
Fundraising is still going on in earnest to save HMS Alliance. We've currently raised just over £3 million ourselves, and with the lottery grant of £3.4 million, we've got a further £200,000 left to go. Very shortly, in the next few weeks, 8th and 9th of December, we've got our next big fundraising event, which is Submarine Santa, when the whole of the inside of HMS Alliance turns into a wonderful Father Christmas grotto, complete with elves, and it really is an amazing event. And obviously, because the submarine's in that giant white tent at the moment, that's the big iceberg that the submarine's caught inside. So bring your family down. It'll be a great couple of days, and we'd love to see you there. Meanwhile, we are open for business right up until the end of December, so love to see you all.